Hello and welcome back to Rhonda Says, Healthy Living from A to Z. We are on chapter A today and we're going to be talking about active release technique, self-myofascial release. I want you guys to start foam rolling right away, so you need to grab hold of a foam roller somewhere and preferably one that looks just like Hannah is using. I am not a fan of the ones with the knobbies on it. I like just the plain foam rollers. It's going to do everything that you need to do, not only for today's exercises, but for the rest of the program. So this is an exercise that you can do every day. You can even do it twice a day if you want to really get results. And I promise you, when you first start doing this, you're going to think you're hurting something because it is not comfortable. Keep doing it. If it hurts you, that is just a cue that you've got some things going on called little trigger points in there. You want to get blood flow to the muscle. You want to be able to relieve those trigger points. You want to feel better. And the better you feel, the better the workouts later on will be for you. Hannah's going to run you through it. I'm going to talk her through it. So you're going to put one foot on top of the other. There's 3 parts of the calf that you're going to hit. One is the lower calf where she is right now, and you're going to just bend and straighten your knee. So you're going to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you're going to rotate your foot out. So you're rotating at the hip, you're hitting the outside of the calf. You're going to do the same 10 rolls. Before you work out, before you do your correctives, you want to run through this rather quickly. If you find something that's really tight and really sore, you can work on it, like pinpoint it later, like after your workout. All right, now you're going to rotate the hip all the way in, so you're getting the inside of the calf. We're still at the lower part of the calf. And then once you do that, you're going to move to the middle of the calf. So you're going to just take your other foot, roll that up, put the foot back on top of the leg, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to roll it 10 times. And then you're going to rotate the hip out, roll it 10 times. It is normal for certain portions of the calf to be more tender than others. It is normal for one leg to be more tender than the others. But it just means pay attention and get that rolled out. Eventually you want them to not be hurting. And then once you get the inside, then you move up one more time at the top, sort of like where you see the little calf muscles up there at the top, where it kind of makes the little heart. You're going to be at the top of that, and the same thing. So you're going to roll 10 times front and back. Then you'll rotate the hip out, roll 10 times, rotate the hip in, roll 10 times. Now, while she's there, I want to show you one more thing that I call cross-fibering that also is very beneficial. You may not be able to tolerate this in the beginning though, so just stick with the 10 rolls and then the out and the in. Once you start feeling like this is looking better and better and better as far as the pain range, then I want you to cross fiber. So you're going to take and roll your leg back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And that will get those trigger points in a different way. Once you do that calf, you switch to the other leg. So just so you kind of see what the cross fibering looks like, I'm going to have her to do front and back, front and back, front and back. She's going to roll her leg to the outside. No, stay at the bottom. Yeah, stay at the bottom. I'm going to have you do the cross fiber there too. So she's going to, see how she's cross fibering at the bottom as well? And remember, the leg that's on top is pushing right through that bottom leg so that it's putting some resistance in there. So you're going to do the same thing, lower leg, the lower calf, the middle calf, and the upper calf. You're doing 10 straight on, 10 with the hip rotated out, 10 with the hip rotated in, and then if you can tolerate it, 10 with the cross fiber. Once you get both calves done, you're going to find that you're already fatigued probably because you've been putting your weight back into your hands. If you have carpal tunnel, if you have sensitive wrists, you're probably going to have a break. That is okay. Eventually, I promise you this will get easier, but nothing happens overnight. You didn't get in the shape that you're in overnight, you're not going to get better overnight. So keep doing it. Now she's going to move into the hamstrings. So she's going to pick her hips up. Once again, if you don't have the upper body strength to do this, this may not be one you can do yet. But guess what? I want you to try it once a week, every week, until you get strong enough to do it. And this is a great way to strengthen your body anyway, because you're putting all of that weight into the shoulders, into the back, into the arms. It's a great way to give you some strength in that as well. So don't give up. She's rolling straight forward. And then you're going to rotate your hips out so that the toes are pointing out. Well, toes are pointing out. So she's externally rotated now. And then she'll roll about 10 times, and then she'll turn those toes in, internally rotate the hips, and do the rolling again. Once she's gone through the hamstrings, then she's going to sit all the way up onto the foam roller. Sometimes you're going to fall off the foam roller, so just make sure that you're safe. She's sitting there. You should feel the two sits bones right on top of the foam roller. And what you're going to do is slide the sits bones forward so that they're now in front of the foam roller. And then she's going to take her left hand. She's going to put her left hand on the floor behind her. And then she's just going to rotate, just your left hand, babe. Yep. Then she's going to rotate her knees, and she's going to be on the piriformis area. She's going to be right on the obturator, which is an external hip rotator. If you have like sciatic type pain that's caused from a tight piriformis, which most of the time they are, you're going to feel like this is going to send you through the roof. Like you're going to be like, I can't do this. This hurts. I've got to get off this. Well, stay on it, because if you can get that to relax and to release, that sciatic pain will go away. Poof, gone. It's one of the easiest things to work on that I've ever seen. SI joint dysfunction and piriformis syndrome, so easy to fix. So once she's done her 10 rolls, she's going to come down to her elbow, and then she's going to roll all the way down so that she lands on top of the pelvis. So that muscle on top of the pelvis is called the gluteus medius. And she wants to roll all the way to that. That's another one that you probably will find is very sensitive. The more you do this, the better it feels. But guess what? You have to be committed to doing it on a regular basis. If you do it once this week and then you come back and do it once next week, you are never going to get better. It's never going to get you out of pain. So you have to be consistent. She has switched to the other side. She's rolling that piriformis area, specifically the obturator from this point, and then she'll come down and roll all the way up to the top of the pelvis, which is the gluteus medius. And then she is going to skip the lower back. If you Google foam rolling, you'll see lots of great things to do on a foam roller. Please don't do the ones that have you rolling the lower back, and here's why. We've been working from, you haven't really been working on it yet because we're just in chapter A, but in chapter C, we're going to be doing some things called correctives, and one of the things in chapter C we'll be working on is stabilizing the lower back. When you roll the lower back, because you're forcing the lower back to roll, you're just destabilizing that joint. We don't want that. So stay away from the lower back. You're going to come up right between the shoulder blades. You want your fingers to hold your head. This is so that you don't let your head drop back. So you're going to hold your head. You're going to roll up and down that area. And then you can also bring your elbows up so the elbows face the ceiling, and you'll feel it a little bit differently. And you can also butterfly the elbows. So you're going out and back and forth. And that will feel a little bit differently too. This one is my favorite one. It feels so good, especially after a long day, to be able to just jump on the foam roller and get that T-spine stretched out. Also, there's lots of other things that you can roll with the foam roller. You can roll the lats, you can roll the serratus muscles, you can roll the arms. We're just you can roll the tibialis anterior. We're skipping a lot of those. I'm showing you the ones that have been the most beneficial to our clients here. But if you have like pain in your lats, or you feel like that you need other types of foam rolling, just Google it, but stay away from that lower back. She's going to show you quads real quick, and we're going to finish up with that, and then I'm going to have Mike show you some things with a hand roller. But I want you to buy a foam roller. You're going to need it, and you're going to use it through this whole program. So she has her toes pointed straight down right now. She's rolling the entire length of her quads, and that is perfect. If you feel like it puts too much stress in the shoulder to get that movement, then you can roll like the upper part of the quads and then the lower part of the quads. You never roll over the knee joint though, but you do want to go right up to this area. Now with her toes pointing out like that, she is hitting the inside of her quads, and right above the knee, there's a place there that you're going to find that's sore. It's the VMO. Work in that place, get that rolled out. You're going to think it hurts, but it's not hurting you. It is helping you. And then as far as turning the toes in, you're going to hit a little bit more on the outside. A lot of videos will also show people rolling the IT band. It's really not going to do a lot. That IT band is such a tight band, plus it stabilizes the hip and the knee. So we really don't want to mess with that. If you feel like you have trouble with your IT band, just envision where it is and then roll right in front of it or right behind it. But try to stay off that band, and for sure stay off the lower back. So Mike is going to show you how to roll the quads with a hand roller, which if you can't get on the floor and foam roll, this is an option. So he's going to bring it underneath. And we're going to start with the calves actually. Okay. He's going to bring it underneath and go the full length of the calves. So just like if we were rolling like Hannah was rolling. And he's going to make sure that he's rolling all the way up, all the way down, and he's going to hit the outside and the inside of the quads, of the calves there. So you're hitting the gastrocnemius and you're hitting the soleus. You're not rolling all the way down on the Achilles tendon. You're staying off of the tendon. So this is an option again if you can't get on the floor and do the foam rolling. There's several different handheld ones. There's that one that has the ridges. There's this one that has no ridges. And then there's this one that has the little knobbies, or they kind of roll separately. Of all three of them, this is probably my least favorite. I really like these two. This one is Tiger Tail and this one is TheraBand. I really like both of those. This one is good. This one is called the Stick, but of the three, it's probably my least favorite. So then you're going to do obviously the other calf. And then with the handheld one, this is a good time that if you feel like you have pain in the tibialis anterior, which is this little muscle right here, this is really easy to kind of get that rolled out too. You can roll that out on the foam roller. We typically don't do it just because it's a difficult position to get in and out of, but doing the handheld one is very easy, and that really does feel good to get that rolled out. So then I'm going to have him to switch to the quads. Same thing, he's going to do the quad, the full length of the quad, and he's just going to make sure that he's hitting all around the quad. So we're going on the inside, we're going on the top, we're going on the outside. We want to hit that little VMO place on the inside of the knee, above the knee, still not rolling over the joint. And then of course we would hit the other side and then come underneath, and you pull up to get the calves. And same thing, you're going to go on the sides, you're going to go right in the middle. Now to hit the piriformis, that's a little bit different when you're not using the foam roller. You're going to need a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. A lot of people like the lacrosse ball better. I typically like the tennis ball better. But whatever works for you is what you want to use. And the way that you kind of find this position is if you think about putting your hand in your pocket. This little L is where the ball goes. If you hit that and then start kind of just rolling around in that area, you will hit the right spot every time. So he's going to get in this position. His knees are going to be sort of like Hannah's were, kind of rotated to the side. He's going to come down on his elbow. And you can see by the grimace on his face that he's hit a spot. This is very difficult. Some people cannot tolerate this in the beginning. And so if you get on this or you can't get on the floor, let's say you can get on the floor, but this is just too much pain, then you're going to pop up off the floor and you're going to put this on a wall. So we're just going to, let's just go to a, you want to go to the door?
Sure.
And basically you're finding that same spot. And it's a lot less painful, right, Mike?
Mm-hmm. But you still get pressure.
You still get pressure. You're still going to get that to release. You're still going to get good blood flow to the area. You're going to get those trigger points to relax. And it still works, but it's not as painful. So that is working in that same piriformis area. You can also take that up into the glute medius. It's a little more awkward, but you can do it with a ball. And then with the T-spine, you're going to take a little peanut. Now what I've done with this is I've taken 2 tennis balls and I've wrapped them in duct tape, pink duct tape, and that's how I use it. You can also put 2 tennis balls in a sock and tie it. What you want to make sure is that your spine goes here. So your spine does not go on the ball. Spine goes in the middle. So if he lays on the floor and he puts that spine in between his shoulder blades with the middle part, of course, on the spine itself, and then he lays back, and with where his head is right now, he's going to either want to put his hands behind his head to support his neck, or he's going to want to get a pillow or something so that his head is not just hanging out there without any kind of support. We don't want to do that to the neck. Feels good, doesn't it? I love this one. I love tennis balls. I keep a tennis ball on my nightstand, and I keep a tennis ball in my car. So they're very useful. So start foam rolling. Start foam rolling today. Do it every single day. You can do it more than once a day if you want to. Don't do something that's so hard that it causes bruising, but outside of bruising, just know that when you're on the muscles we've showed you to be on and you're not on a joint, you are not hurting the joint. You are going to feel pain. But if you can push through that muscle pain, get those trigger points out of there, you're going to open up movement patterns. Your body's going to feel loose. It's going to feel like, oh my goodness, my hips are moving better than they have in years. It really does work, guys, but you have to be consistent. So get on the foam roller, and until next time, journey on.